to the Unstuck Podcast. This is your host, Drew Cost, and today I got my little one with me. And I want to talk about this question I get asked a lot is, how do you be a father with doing so much? So I'm doing this with her so you can see what actually happens behind the scenes. One of the things that I didn't do when I first became a father was I didn't try to make work for my kids and family. I kept working just to supply for them, but not to make it make sense for them and the time that I wanted and needed to spend with them. So something that has helped a lot was realizing that I can't service everybody, realizing that I wanted to take on fewer clients so that I could have more quality of work, but have more quality of life with my family. My oldest is 18 and my youngest is 4. Now, my oldest, my wife, when I got married, my wife already had my oldest daughter. So I came into her life around 12. And then we had Aaliyah. And the challenges were literally trying to balance entrepreneurship with balancing fatherhood. And if you know anything about balancing parenting and entrepreneurship, it is a tough battle. So the things that I did and the things that I'm doing now is more so transitioning a lot of stuff to online, charging more and working with fewer clients. The number one reason for that is I don't want to be just busy. I don't want to be known for grinding. I want to be known for being a good family man first, husband, father, and then being a great friend, and then a great businessman. And to do that, it took some changes, it took some sacrifices, it took some not taking every opportunity and more. It took managing time a little bit different. Well, you can't manage time, but managing myself a lot different with time. And with all of that, I've learned that you're not going to get your kids at 12 and 14 being in a good relationship with you if you don't cultivate that early on, right? Spending more time, and I'm getting better at it, spending more time, spending more quality time. I now let the little one, when I do have to do work, I let her come around a lot more so she can see that daddy is working and we can do this somehow together, and she's learning and I give her playtime. But for any dad out there who's trying to balance work and can you turn it down, mommy? To balance work and balance fatherhood, it is a challenge because they need money to live. But I would say pray and ask God for better opportunities that doesn't take you away from the house as much. Ask for opportunities that help you actually cultivate the family, because again, you're not going to get that time with them once they get older. And once they get like 10, 12, they want to do their own things. They don't want to be stuck with you all the time. That's important. So praying for better opportunities, praying for better clients where you're not stressed out so much by clientele that you don't have anything left for the family, and being willing to pivot when you have to. There's some changes, I'll announce them later, but there's some changes that I'm making that allows me to pivot a lot. So you hear that allow me to pivot to be better for them, because at the end of the day, they're going to be first. They have to be first, because if you get sick, your job will replace you. If you own a job, if you own a company and you get sick and you don't have any employees, the job is going to go down, but your family is going to always be there. So that's my spin on fatherhood. Now, if you asked me, Drew, what would you have done differently? Honestly, I probably would say I wouldn't have become an entrepreneur first. I would have waited. I was already an entrepreneur when I got married and when I had my daughters. So it was already in motion, but I would have waited. I would have gotten a regular job, and I would have used that to not have all my brain power, use my brain for them, and then I would have used like creating something on the side that didn't cause a lot of stress. But as an entrepreneur, you don't realize how much your mind is always on and how much you're battling just life in general. You don't realize that because it happens so often. So I would have probably kept a normal job, or got a normal job, and did entrepreneurship like on the side somehow. Something else definitely I would have done is I would have went and got mentored by a father prior to me becoming one. Like getting mentored, like, what do you do when this happens? How do you feel when this happens? What do you do when you're lacking sleep? How do you feel when you're not able to just grind the way you used to grind? What do you do when they cry? All these things I would have asked, because these are things that challenged me so much that I thought I was crazy. Another thing that I would have changed was I would have sought out more community with other married couples and men. Getting just in a community where you're noticed, you're heard, you're I don't want to say just understood, but you're valued at who you are in that season, right? When you first have a kid, if you don't have one, you'll feel it. When you first have a kid, that first 2 years of sleep and just energy gets thrown out the window. And I was still working 5:30 a.m. So just going, I would have gotten help. And how do you navigate this? How do you embrace these changes? It's not going to always be like this. You're not going to always buy Pampers. You're not going to always have to get the baby milk. You're not going to always have to do these things. So what do you do when you do have them? And I would have given myself more grace, right? I've talked freely about my life. I would have given myself more grace. Sometimes being so hard on yourself can be it can be dangerous, because you don't realize not giving yourself credit, not celebrating yourself, all of that can eventually just limit you, and it can eventually turn into you being this person chasing the grind and chasing the wrong things. And that's not something that I want to keep ascribing to. Other than that, fatherhood, it's just like anything else. It has its ups and its downs. But the beauty of it is I started therapy because of my daughter, because I didn't want to pass on some of the habits and mindset roadblocks and a lot of those things. I didn't want to pass that on to her. And I realized if I wasn't getting healed, there was going to be no way in the world that she was going to be able to experience me at my fullest. And then eventually, a lot of the therapy became about helping myself, which became one of the biggest blessings of my life. And still to this day, I still go to therapy, which has been beautiful. My daughter's also taught me a lot about moving on, right? She can do something, make a mistake, and she's quick to be like, it's okay. Like we can work this out. We can make this happen. Both of them have also taught me a lot about enjoying more moments rather than the day having to be packed out with things to do. That's very, very, it's not common. It's not common for a man, not common for an entrepreneur, especially when we're known for going. And they taught me, it does something to my heart when I hear them say that. I don't know why, it does something to my heart. Now, the littlest one says it so much that, let's just say she says it a lot, but she says it so much. But I'm glad to share this with you. I wish and I encourage more entrepreneur dads. Share your story, share why you do what you do, how you balance it, if you struggle with it, because men getting information that's vulnerable is already a challenge, but men getting information about helping their daughters and their sons and being a present father, it's far and few. But I believe if we help men heal, that our world will heal. So I'm your favorite content coach. I know I am, because you're listening to me, and I'm happy that you came out today. Take care, get unstuck, and go be great. Peace out.